Did you know there are 3 secret pet names that can unknowingly draw a man to you? This isn't sorcery. It's all about psychology. The intriguing part? Most women are completely unaware of them. Picture this. A woman shares a few words with a man, and suddenly, he can't shake her from his mind. Even hours later, she lingers in his thoughts, and he's baffled as to why. How did she manage that? She simply chose the perfect words at the perfect time. In this video, I'll uncover the 3 secret pet names that spark desire, intrigue, and an unbreakable bond in a man's mind. But there's more. I won't just list these names. I'll guide you on how and when to use them for maximum impact. If you've ever felt like you were engaging with a guy, only for him to forget you afterward or for the conversation to fizzle out, it's likely because you weren't tapping into the right emotional triggers. But don't fret. After watching this video, you'll know exactly what to say to leave a memorable impression on any man. Stick around to the end, as the 3rd pet name is the most powerful one, and if you wield it correctly, he won't be able to get you out of his thoughts. Are you ready to discover this secret and transform your approach? Let's dive in. Words are potent. They not only express thoughts, but can also stir hidden emotions deep within someone's subconscious. When it comes to attraction, selecting the right words can distinguish between being unforgettable and fading into the background. In psychology, we call these emotional triggers, phrases that ignite concealed desires without the person even realizing it. It's like hitting a secret button in his mind, and once you do, he might find himself thinking of you at 3 a.m. while gaming. Have you ever had someone say something that stuck with you longer than an annoying tune? Perhaps an unexpected compliment or a cryptic remark that left you pondering its meaning for days? These 3 secret pet names are just like that. Little emotional sparks that keep him thinking of you without him fully grasping why. But here's the twist. If you use them incorrectly, you risk coming off as desperate or, even worse, like the clingy girlfriend who bombards him with messages hoping for a response. So, pay close attention, because I'm about to share the first pet name and how to use it effectively to make him see you as someone truly unique. Pet name number 1, My Temptation. Men are drawn to challenges, not necessarily because they love complexity, but because a good challenge ignites their instinct to pursue. When you say, "You are my temptation," his mind sharpens. He'll wonder, why am I her temptation? What makes me so special? You're implying that he's someone irresistible to you. It's like he's suddenly focused on something significant, akin to when his favorite game or an eagerly awaited match comes into view. His attention is divided, and his curiosity is stirred. That's the magic of this pet name. You make him feel like his mere presence has a profound effect on you. And that's where the enchantment starts. Avoid saying it like a heartfelt confession. Don't gaze at him with those big, yearning eyes and declare, "You're my temptation." That might come off as if you're about to pop the question. The secret lies in how you say it and your facial expressions. Infuse it with a playful tone, as if you're sharing a delightful little secret. Picture this. He's engaged in some ordinary task, sharing a story, or lending you a hand, and you flash him a mischievous smile, gently shake your head, and tease, "Do you realize you're my temptation? How can I concentrate when you do that?" Just like that, his instincts kick in. He'll shift into protector and conqueror mode. It's like giving him a trophy without any competition. If you hit the right note, he'll gaze back at you with a satisfied grin and ask, "Oh, really? How am I tempting you?" And that's where the fun begins. But tread carefully. This line isn't for every occasion. If you drop it while he's sharing his work struggles or family issues, congratulations. He'll think you weren't even paying attention. Save it for a relaxed, casual moment. When you get it right, he'll feel empowered, look at you with renewed interest, and the conversation will soar to new heights. Get it wrong, and you might just receive a puzzled stare, as if you were speaking a foreign language. The aim is for him to sense that he's stirred something within you, that he holds a unique sway over your emotions, all without it feeling like you've lost your grip. That makes him feel special, chosen, and sparks his instinct to protect and pursue you. The issue with using this phrase as if you're the star of a cliched romance is that it loses its charm instantly. First mistake: delivering it too dramatically or desperately. If you say, "You're my temptation," in a quivering voice, he'll think you're a bit unstable and bolt faster than someone hearing the word commitment. Second mistake: bringing it up too soon. If you use that line on the first date, you remove the mystery, and you'll come off as predictable as the latest social media trend. Third mistake: using it when there's no chemistry. If there's no connection and you just toss this line out there, he'll probably respond with a simple "thanks" and look to wrap things up. Remember, this isn't a magic incantation, but rather a subtle nudge, and timing is everything. When executed well, he'll see you as the woman who awakens his primal instincts, the one who makes him forget everything else, even if just for a moment. Now, let's talk about pet name number 2, my distraction. Men possess a competitive and focused nature. They value anything that pulls them from their concentration, especially when it comes from a woman they're drawn to. Calling him your distraction signals to him, "You have the power to turn my world upside down, even if I'm not quite ready for it." Why does this resonate so deeply? You're gently stroking his ego, but in a subtle way. You're letting him know that despite your best efforts to focus, thoughts of him keep sneaking in. And when a man realizes he has that kind of power over you, he feels like a conqueror, effortlessly making his way into your mind. That's when his obsession ignites, as he desperately wants to hold on to that special spot in your thoughts. It's crucial to express this not in a frustrated tone, but rather playfully, as if it's a charming little weakness you're trying to conceal, yet secretly relish. Picture this. You're in a moment where you should be concentrating on something else, but all your attention is drawn to him. With a mock frown, you might say, "You're my favorite distraction. Do you have any idea how tough it is to focus when you're around?" In that instant, he'll feel empowered and likely play along. He might tease you with, "Should I take my leave then?" Or simply smile, running his fingers through his hair or sitting up a bit straighter. Congratulations, you've activated his inner conqueror. It's as if you're conveying, "You're so captivating that I can't help but give you my full attention, even when I should be doing something else." But tread carefully. The way you deliver this matters. Saying, "You're my distraction," in a lighthearted, charming manner is key, especially if he's just shared something he's proud of. You don't want him to think you're dismissing his achievements. When done right, he'll feel recognized, valued, and unique. He'll be eager to win even more of your attention. If it's delivered poorly, he might think he's genuinely bothering you and pull back emotionally. The aim is for him to sense that he holds a special place in your thoughts, one that not everyone gets to occupy. If he responds with increased interest and warmth, you know you've hit the mark. This playful nickname can work wonders, but timing and context are everything. If you use it while he's engrossed in an important task or wrestling with a problem, it could easily come off as disrespectful. And if you say it to someone who barely pays you any mind, he may feel more awkward than flattered. Tone is critical as well. If it sounds accusatory, it won't feel like a compliment, but rather like criticism. So choose your words wisely and watch how he strives to remain your favorite distraction. Now, let's explore the third nickname, my problem. When you tell a man that he's your problem, you instantly awaken his instincts to protect and solve. You're placing him in a position of power, but also vulnerability, acknowledging that he stirs something within you that feels beyond your control. He shakes up your calm, disrupts your order, and alters your routine, often without even trying. It's that moment when you vow not to think about someone anymore, only to find yourself late at night scrolling through his profile. It's unexpected, yet it just happens. When he hears those words, his ego swells like a balloon. He realizes he has an effortless impact on you. Yet, this particular nickname carries immense weight and should be reserved for just the right moment. Use it too early or with the wrong person, and you risk appearing overly dramatic or desperate, much like someone sending cheerful good morning texts to a near stranger. You can't simply drop "you're my problem" during casual conversation. It needs context, a build-up, eye contact, and perhaps a soft touch. Picture this. You've shared a connection for a while. There's an undeniable spark, an unspoken attraction. You flash him a half-resigned, half-playful smile and say, "Did you know you're my problem? Ever since we met, I can't focus." In that split second, the tension rises. He might reply with intrigue, "I enjoy being your problem, Damsey," or confidently, "And what are you going to do about it?" That's your cue to stay composed. If you overreact, you'll spoil the enchantment. A savvy player knows when to pull back, inviting the other person to move in closer. It's not only about your words, but also your expression, posture, and timing. If you nail it, he'll feel desired, empowered, and deeply connected. If you misstep, he may look back at you, puzzled, as if he's been accused of something. This nickname works wonders because it ignites his instinct to conquer without making you seem like an easy target. It's like saying, "Look what you're doing to me now. Prove you're worth it." That subtle magnetism is utterly captivating to a man. However, tread carefully. As potent as this nickname is, misuse can completely turn him off. The first blunder is using it without context. If there's been no tension or bond, you risk coming off as someone who falls for everyone easily. The second misstep is being too dramatic. This nickname should feel like a lighthearted admission, not the start of a soap opera. If you present it as a serious issue, he'll take you at face value. The third mistake is directing it at a man who shows minimal interest. If he hasn't indicated attraction, he might feel overwhelmed or even repelled. Now you're aware of 3 enticing nicknames that can linger in a man's thoughts, even when you're not around. My temptation boosts his ego, making him feel powerful and desirable. My distraction reveals that he occupies a special place in your mind. My problem awakens his instincts to protect and conquer, making him feel a deeper connection with you. But keep in mind, words alone are not enough. You can deliver the perfect line, but if your tone, body language, and demeanor don't align, the effect will fall flat. True seduction is found not just in the words, but in the feelings they evoke. It's a delicate balance of vulnerability, mystery, and playful challenge. Coco Chanel once remarked that when a woman decides to cut her hair, she's ready for a transformation in her life. The same principle holds true in the realm of attraction. It's not solely about your words. It's also about your willingness to adapt as your relationship evolves. Trust me, when a man feels valued in your life, he'll go to great lengths to maintain that special bond. Those affectionate nicknames hold significant power because they tap into deep-seated instincts within men, the urge to protect, to conquer, and to feel esteemed and acknowledged. While many women settle for bland, unremarkable phrases, you have the opportunity to press emotional buttons they never even realized were there. That's the key distinction between being remembered and being forgotten. However, with such influence comes a responsibility. Use those pet names wisely and with emotional awareness, not as tools of manipulation, but as bridges to forge authentic, meaningful connections. Ultimately, it's not the nickname that captivates a man, it's the remarkable woman who utters it. If you've ever pondered why these terms of endearment have such a powerful impact, let's delve briefly into the science behind it. Research indicates that the male brain reacts strongly to specific verbal cues, particularly those that reinforce his sense of importance and acknowledgement. Renowned neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky from Stanford University highlights that when men feel appreciated and desired, their brains release dopamine, the feel-good hormone, creating a sensation akin to addiction. That's why a thoughtfully chosen nickname can evoke that obsessive allure we're after. This isn't about manipulation. It's about grasping the workings of the male psyche and using that insight to cultivate deeper connections. Think of it like playing chess. Understanding the moves gives you an edge. It's not cheating, it's simply employing the right strategy. Now, let me share some inspiring stories from women who have effectively applied these techniques with remarkable outcomes. Maria, a follower of my channel, reached out to me with her experience. I was dealing with a man I had known for 3 weeks. There was chemistry, but he hadn't made any advances. One evening after dinner, I gazed into his eyes and said, "Do you realize you're my dilemma? Since we met, I can't seem to concentrate on my work anymore." He paused for a moment, then kissed me. Now, 6 months later, he still insists that moment changed everything. Another compelling example comes from Lucia. She utilized my temptation technique with a colleague, where mutual attraction was evident, but neither dared to make a move due to their work environment. One night, while burning the midnight oil on a project, he was assisting her with a challenge when she smiled and said, "You're my temptation. Do you know how difficult it is for me to focus with you around?" His reaction was immediate, nervous yet beaming with a broad smile. From that point forward, he eagerly looked for chances to spend time alone with her. Fast forward to today, and they're now in a committed relationship. These tales reinforce what we already understand. The real power lies not just in the words we choose, but in the sincerity and confidence behind them. Yet, there's a crucial aspect that often goes unmentioned: the moments right after you say a pet name. What happens next can either amplify its impact or completely diminish it. Here's a little-known secret. After you drop one of those enticing pet names, it's essential to create a touch of emotional distance, to subtly pull back. Think of it as casting a line and then giving the fish some space to nibble. Psychologists refer to this as the scarcity effect, and it significantly influences how men think. Picture this. You tell him, "You're my temptation," and he lights up. Instead of gazing into his eyes, you change the topic or excuse yourself for a moment. This small withdrawal creates an emotional gap that's vital. It allows him to digest what you just said. He'll notice your absence and instinctively want to bridge that gap. Take Anna, a devoted reader, who shared with me, "I told my crush he's my favorite distraction. I saw his eyes brighten, but instead of lingering, I smiled and went to join my friends. What happened next was incredible. He searched for me all night, texted me the following day, and has been messaging me nonstop since then." This little retreat acts like a magnet, drawing him closer. Men tend to value what they think they might lose more than what feels secure. It's in their nature to pursue, conquer, and win. So when you plant that emotional seed with a pet name, step back and watch him move closer to you. Many women don't realize that these pet names can build on one another, a phenomenon I call the cascade effect. Each pet name paves the way for the next. If you use them in the right sequence, you can forge a bond that feels nearly irresistible. Phase 1 starts with "my distraction." This is the easiest of the 3 pet names, perfect for the early stages of your connection. It signals that he's on your mind without overwhelming him emotionally, igniting a spark of curiosity. Phase 2 comes a few weeks later, once trust and familiarity have grown. This is when you introduce "my temptation," heightening emotional tension and hinting at physical attraction without being too direct. It stirs his primal instincts, subtly conveying that you find him irresistible. Phase 3 is where the magic happens with my problem. When there's already a clear connection but he hasn't made a decisive move, this pet name propels things forward. It triggers his protective instincts and the urge to resolve something. You place him at a crossroads. He can either take action or let the moment pass. Carolina skillfully navigated this approach with a guy from her university. It all began when she referred to him as my distraction during their study sessions in the library. Fast forward 2 weeks to a party where she playfully declared, "You are my temptation," while they danced, instantly noticing a shift in his gaze. Then, about a month later, after spending time together regularly without any official label, she leaned in and confessed, "You are my problem. I can't stop thinking about you." That very night, he asked her to be his girlfriend. What I haven't mentioned yet is how crucial the right timing and setting are to amplify these pet names. The context in which you deliver these words can significantly heighten their effect. My distraction shines in scenarios where focus is required, like studying, working, or even driving. Picture this. You're in the library, sneaking glances at him. Then with a gentle smile, you say, "You're my favorite distraction. How can I possibly focus on the exam with you right in front of me?" The stark contrast between the serious atmosphere and your playful comment creates a memorable impact. On the other hand, my temptation is most effective in laid-back social settings. Whether it's a party, a dinner with friends, or a late-night message when you're feeling relaxed, you might say, "Did you know you're my temptation? I should be sleeping, but I can't stop thinking about our chat earlier." If you send this at just the right moment, he'll be thinking about you all night long. Now, my problem really hits home during farewells. After sharing a wonderful time together, as you prepare to part ways, you look into his eyes and say, with a resigned smile, "You're really my problem. I'll be thinking about you all week." That's the perfect moment, as you're giving him something to ponder and anticipate in your absence, building excitement for your next encounter. Before we wrap up, here's the most essential tip. Be genuine. These pet names are powerful, but they only resonate if there's an authentic connection behind them. No clever technique can substitute for true chemistry and emotional depth. I've seen numerous women use these strategies like their magic tricks, hoping for a miracle with every man, only to end up feeling let down. The reality is, not every man is meant for you, and you're not meant for every man. These techniques amplify existing attraction. They don't create it out of thin air. The esteemed psychologist Helen Fisher, an expert on love and relationships, articulates it beautifully. True romantic obsession stems from a blend of chemistry, connection, and timing. The right words serve as catalysts, speeding up a process that's already in motion. So, before you start using those pet names, take a moment to honestly ask yourself, do I genuinely have feelings for this man? Are there signs he's interested in me too? If you can say yes to these questions, that's fantastic. Use these tools to strengthen your connection. But if your answer is no, even the most charming pet name won't forge a true, lasting bond. As I often mention on this channel, real seduction isn't about clever tricks. It's about authentic connection. These pet names serve as a pathway to that unique space where two individuals consciously choose each other time and again, not because of the words themselves, but because of who they truly are. Now, here's a question many women ask me. How can I tell if it's working? Let's explore 5 signs that indicate you've genuinely influenced his thoughts. First, he begins using similar pet names for you. If he suddenly refers to you as his weakness or addiction, he's mirroring what you've awakened in him and trying to evoke that same feeling in you. Second, he frequently seeks you out for no apparent reason. Unexpected texts, Casual phone calls or chance meetings in places he knows you'll be are clear indicators that you're on his mind just as much as he is on yours. Third, his friends know about you, even if you've never met. If he mentions that they are aware of you or jokes about you, it's likely he has spoken about you more than he realizes, which means you hold a significant spot in his thoughts. Fourth, he recalls the tiniest details from your conversations. If he remembers your favorite dessert or the name of your childhood pet weeks later, it shows he's replayed those moments in his mind over and over. Fifth, he becomes more protective or territorial without any obvious reason. He frequently asks about your plans, wants to know who you're spending time with, or offers to join you when he didn't before. That's his protective instinct kicking in, a clear indication that he sees you as someone special. If you notice at least 3 of these signs, congratulations. You've accomplished something that few women do. You've carved out a special place in his mind and heart. Now, it's up to you to decide whether to deepen this connection or simply savor the magic of the moment. If you found these pet names impactful, stay tuned for what's coming next. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any updates. Our mission here is not only to help you capture a man's attention, but also to cultivate genuine, deep connections based on mutual understanding and true compatibility. We'll see you in the next video, and always remember to wield your power with wisdom and emotional intelligence. You are so much more than just a few words. You are a complete, fascinating, and unique woman deserving of a love that reflects your greatness. Until next time.